Okay, well, welcome Arinze to the Online Black Book Festival 2022. So here we have, I'm David Simon, by the way, but here we have Arinze Talius Ebeli Dike. Have I pronounced it correctly? Or close?
We're very close, very close.
Okay then, okay. So Arinze, perhaps you'd like to introduce yourself to the attendees of the Online Black Book Festival 2022.
Right. First of all, I want to say I'm very happy to be here. My name is Arinze Talius Ebeledike. So that's why I said it was pretty close. I am the head of content marketing here at Okada Books. Primarily what my responsibility is to ensure that books on our platforms are accessible to readers. So let's just to put it simply, a reader is looking for a new book to read, a good book to read. It is my job to ensure that they find something that's that matches their taste at every particular time. But then it's a startup. So, as most startup cultures, things sort of like collapse into each other, roles sort of like collapse. So every now and then I find myself, I could be doing it's some PR, a little bit of customer service here and there, but primarily, yes, that is my job. I'm head of content.
Okay, so for our viewers here who don't know much about Okada Books, what is Okada Books? Is it an online platform that provides books at grassroots level, or is it some kind of physical activity as well?
Okay, so Okada Books is a digital platform. It's totally digital. It does two things within the book communities. It helps authors publish their books easily, and then it also connects those books to readers. So it's serving two markets within the literary space.
Right. Okay then. Well, thank you for that. Now, when I heard about Okada Books, I was so impressed. I was so impressed. I thought I must reach out to you people. I know you're young people, dynamic in Nigeria, doing wonderful things, but I want to give our viewers a kind of sense of the story behind. I mean, such a wonderful project. What's the story behind Okada Books?
Okay, as you said rightly, there is a story behind everything, and the story makes it even more personal, makes it easier to connect with. Right. Okada Books started in the year 2013. Our CEO at that time, our CEO started off as he was an author, and he had just returned to Nigeria from the States and wanted to publish his book. He got around doing that, and then sampled some of it with a bookshop somewhere here in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. And after a while, went back to go collect his money made from sales. And then let's just say that never happened. He just kept getting story after story after story.
I know the feeling. I'm an author. I know the feeling.
And it was just annoying because I put in the work and I just want to get paid for my work. And let's say that sort of like laid the groundwork for the emergence of Okada Books. Okada Books came out of that frustration, that whole frustration, and he just thought, how can I make this thing simpler for myself and for people like me, because they are shared experiences. This is actually, like you yourself said, it's a story that most writers, most authors can relate to, and basically that's just how it came about. The name itself, Okada Books came about. Okada, for here in Nigeria, Okada is a colloquial name for motorcycle, bikes. So that's just basically how the name came about, how to make the entire publishing system easier and simpler.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know the name because I went to Onitsha in Nigeria and I tried to cross the road. And that's when I discovered Okada. I was almost run over 100 times by these motorbikes. Okay, so that's the story behind the company. But how does it work? To our viewers, supposing one of them was interested in having their books, because we've got viewers from Nigeria attending this festival. how does it work? How could they engage with Okada Books?
That looks okay. So let me just start by saying it's easy, it's simple.
Yeah.
We've tried our best to simplify the entire process. So you are a writer, you're an author, you have your book, and you want to place it on Okada Books. The very first thing you just want to do is to visit the URL www.publish.okadabooks.com. When you arrive at the page, you'd see it's simplified. There are prompts that just basically show you what to do. Some of the things you need to get started are your book, obviously your book, but your book in the EPUB format. You need your book cover, you need your book blurb, that's your book synopsis, and a set price that you intend to sell. If you have all these things and you visit the URL www.publish.okadabooks.com, let's say in 5-10 minutes, you'll be done and your book is available to be read. And that's from the end of a publisher. And as a reader, you want to get started with Okada Books. You want to read. You just take up your smart device, your Android phone, your iOS device. Just go to the store. You search up Okada Books. You install on your device, and you sign up. And yes, all the books are available to you at your disposal.
And it's that simple. That sounds great. That sounds great. Okay, then. Now, just looking at your video and just speaking to you now, I can hear and feel the passion that you have for Okada Books. So, I mean, how as a team, how do you keep, what makes you so passionate about working at Okada Books?
There is a story behind Okada Books, which I have shared. And like I mentioned earlier, while I was sharing the story is a story that almost anyone who is in the writing space can relate with. I personally had tried my hands on writing prior to joining Okada Books, and I understand how frustrating it was. And then seeing a platform that stood out to say, okay, this problem that we have as a community, we want to solve this problem. I could relate with that, and I think it's the same thing for everybody on my team, for the team. It's a story we can relate with, and just makes that drive where there's a synergy where we all can connect. And let's just say that synergy, because most of us are writers, not all, most of us are writers, and we can connect with that story. And let's just say we are committed to wanting to solve, or at least alleviate to a very wide extent that problem, the entire problem that exists with publishing and book reading.
Right, and your work, I mean, when again looking at your website, I saw that your work was in schools, it was in kind of like marginalized communities. I mean, you have a reach, you have a distribution network that's quite unique and grassroots.
Yes. Primarily, Okada Books serves to connect authors, their books, and readers. But aside from that, we try as much as possible to get across to communities, underserved communities per se, schools that are, let's just say, that are typically hidden away from all the noise, schools that people wouldn't typically think about, quote. We have this whole digital outreach program where we try to get these schools, these people in this sector, books, to help them to inculcate that whole reading culture in them. To get this done, we collaborate with different bodies from time to time. We accept sponsorships, we accept basically just we collaborate to just make this come to fruition. Yes, let's just say we've not been doing really bad.
Okay, well that's good. I was looking at your figures. It's amazing. You're getting thousands of books into schools and helping children to read, and so it's excellent. So viewers, check out Okada Books. Google them and support them. Just like to know what are the challenges? I know it's you're really positive, but like every business, every organization, you have challenges. What are the challenges that Okada Books is facing right now?
Thank you so much for saying there is no, I don't think there's any business under the face of this earth that is not with challenges. I'm just going to pick up from where the last point I made about outreaches and all. So some of the challenges, particularly on that, is that we don't, we like to say, a shortage of maybe sponsors. Yeah, we'd like to have more people, more bodies, more individuals that we could collaborate with to get these things done, these outreaches done. We would like to have them more frequently than we do. Would also, one of the challenges we also face has to do with basically running a business here in Nigeria. It's not easy. It's not easy at all, but we pull through. But yeah. I think that's about it.
Yeah. So it's really sponsors. So attendees, reach out to Okada Books and support, and we'd like to reach out and support in whatever way we can as well. What are the success stories? What are the kind of real success stories for Okada Books?
Okay, there's one that stands out for me, for the company. I think that this came about in 2019. We had this, we were selected as one of the first recipients of the Dubai Cares Literacy Fund. That was a big moment for us. Courtesy of this partnership, we're able to reach way more people, way more students, way more communities with the literacy gospel, basically. Right. It was a really high moment for us. Something else that happens more often than not is the smile we see on the faces of our authors, writers who publish with us. The smile and the good feedback we get from them when they tend to make money, and good money, from their works. That's something that constantly puts a smile on our faces as well. So yes. Okay,
well, that's great. The future. What is the future for Okada Books?
The future is bright. It is bright. It is bright. We are unrelenting. We will continue to preach the gospel of books. We hope to be able to collaborate more. We want to help as many writers, as many authors get their books out there. We want so many readers too, people who are not so sure if they can read. I found out in the course of this journey that there are a lot of people who don't think they can read so much, and we would like to see, or to encourage people like that and tell them that it is possible to read it, at the very least, a book in a month. So we're unrelenting. We just keep on pushing and making the entire gospel of literacy out there.
Okay, well, that's great. Arinze from Okada Books, thank you so much for taking the time to be here and be at the Online Black Book Festival here in London. We have attendees from all over the world. I hope they reach out to you, support what you're doing, because it's great. We love stories like this. It's very much what we're trying to do here at Simon Education, and we applaud what you're doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.